I never believed in fate or signs or the idea that the smallest decisions could quietly change everything. To me, life was simple. You work, you struggle, you move forward, and sometimes you get lucky. That's it. No hidden meaning, no invisible threads connecting strangers. That belief lasted until one ordinary evening when I helped someone I didn't know, and somehow, without realizing it, stepped into a completely different version of my life. It was late autumn, the kind of evening where the sky turns gray long before night arrives and the air feels heavy with unfinished rain. I had just left work, exhausted in that deep, hollow way that doesn't go away with sleep. My phone buzzed with another message from my landlord reminding me that rent was overdue. Again. I was behind on bills. My savings were almost gone, and the job I once thought would be temporary had quietly become my entire life. As I walked toward the subway station, I noticed a woman standing near the entrance. She looked out of place. Not homeless, not waiting for someone, just stuck. She kept checking her phone, then looking up at the station map like it had betrayed her. I hesitated. I was tired, I was late, and honestly, I didn't feel like being a good person that day. But something about her expression made me stop. Not panic, not fear, just confusion mixed with quiet frustration, the look of someone far from home trying not to bother anyone. I asked if she needed help. She looked relieved instantly, like she'd been holding her breath. Her accent was soft, unfamiliar. She explained she was new to the city, here for a short project, and her phone battery had died. She wasn't sure which train to take, and every sign seemed to point in a different direction. I showed her the map, explained the lines, even walked her down to the platform to make sure she got on the right train. She thanked me several times, smiling in a way that felt genuinely warm, not polite. Before the train arrived, she asked my name. I told her. She told hers. Then the doors closed and she was gone. I didn't think about it again. Not that night, not the next day. It was just a small moment, a few minutes of kindness in a city full of them. Weeks passed. My situation didn't improve. If anything, it got worse. My company announced layoffs, and my name was on the list. No warning, no apology, just a short meeting and a cardboard box for my desk. I remember walking home that day, holding that box, feeling numb. The city moved around me like nothing had happened, which somehow made it worse. That evening, I sat in my apartment with the lights off, scrolling through job listings that all looked the same requirements, same promises, same rejection emails waiting to happen. Then my phone buzzed. It was an email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line read, "This might sound strange, but I think I helped you once." I almost deleted it, but curiosity won. The email was from the woman at the subway station. She remembered my name. She remembered the night. She said she had wanted to thank me properly, but life moved fast and she hadn't had the chance. Until now. She explained that she worked as a creative director for a small international company. During her short stay in the city, she had been observing how people treated strangers, not for work, but out of personal curiosity. She told me that moment at the station stayed with her, not because it was dramatic, but because it was effortless. I hadn't helped her to be seen. I hadn't expected anything back. She asked what I did for work. I almost didn't reply. Pride is a strange thing, but something told me to be honest. I told her I had just lost my job. I told her what I used to do. I told her I was trying to figure out my next step. Her response came the next morning. She said her company was opening a remote position, not advertised yet, not guaranteed, but after reading my background, she thought I might be a good fit. I assumed it was kindness, a polite gesture, a conversation that would fade. But it didn't. There were interviews, long video calls, skill tests that pushed me harder than anything I'd done before. weeks of silence that tested my patience. Then, one quiet afternoon, another email arrived. I got the job. Remote, better pay, real growth, a chance to build something instead of just surviving. I sat there staring at the screen, replaying that night in my head, the cold air, the station lights, the moment I almost walked past her. If I had been a little more tired, a little more bitter, a little more focused on my own problems, none of this would have happened. But the story didn't end there. Months later, my life looked completely different. I had moved to a better apartment, I slept better, I smiled more. I even started helping others the way I once hadn't had the energy to. One day, during a company meeting abroad, I finally met her again, this time not as a stranger in a subway station, but as someone who had quietly changed my future. We talked about that night. She told me something I'll never forget. She said, "People think kindness is loud, that it has to be big to matter, but the smallest kindness comes from who you are when no one is watching." I realized then that helping her hadn't just changed my circumstances, it had changed how I saw the world. Now, whenever I see someone hesitating, lost, or quietly struggling, I remember that night, and I stop. Because sometimes the help you give a stranger doesn't come back the way you expect. It comes back as a door opening exactly when you think everything is closed. And you never know which version of your life you're choosing until much later, when you look back and realize that one small moment was everything.